It was the exams at the end of school, and there was the envelope sitting on the hall table. Dun, dun, dun. You know, it's one of those moments when you just know what's going to happen for the rest of my life. You know, am I going to go and be a doctor if I get good results? And then you open the envelope, and you go, oh God, oh, I failed biology. This is an absolute disaster. Everyone was looking very long-faced, and my grandmother said, Christopher, if you cannot be first, be peculiar. And I went, that sounds pretty good. I'll do that.
This is extraordinary. Hofmeister, a great lager, follow the great bear.
Granny told me to be peculiar, and so got into advertising. One day we'd be doing a beer commercial, then we'd do a cigarette commercial, then you'd do an airline commercial. You know, you didn't really, there was no feeling that you were actually doing anything important. You get to the end of your days and you go, what have I actually done in my life? And I really couldn't see a way through it. And I tried to kill myself, bicycle off a cliff. And I went flying over the embankment, over the edge of the cliff, but this tree must have caught me like that and broke my fall, as it were. So I just couldn't believe it. I mean, you remember, all I did was stage events. I was a production manager on television commercials, and I couldn't even stage my own suicide. I started coming slowly to the conclusion that actually what I needed in life was purpose. And I got this idea that if I could find a purpose, some big, hairy, audacious goal, which would sort of take up the rest of my life, and wouldn't it be wonderful if I could solve it, that maybe my life would be pretty special. I looked at all the world's issues. The one that really attracted me was the concept that there is a mass extinction of species occurring right now on our watch, and that we have to stop this event. We have to stop it. Charles Darwin wrote late in life, I feel no remorse for having committed any great sin, but I have often and often regretted that I haven't done more direct good to our fellow creatures. And initially I thought, well, the answer to do this is just to set up this huge network of nature reserves. And if we could do that, we will solve the mass extinction of species. And so for the first 10 years, that's what I did. And one journalist says to me, well, it's all very well you're doing this lovely conservation work, but what exactly is your impact on the environment? And I thought, well, I should try and find out what exactly is my impact. If you take all the usable land on the planet and the bit of the ocean we use for fishing, and you divide it by 7.2 billion people, you get a sense of the amount of land that is available per person. Vegetables have got 31 as a footprint, cheese has got 3,000, so it's basically 100 times. When I did my first footprint, I actually, to my absolute shock, I realized that I wasn't 1.5 planets, which was the average of humanity. I was 6 planets, which was even worse than the average Australian. The average Australian's 5 planets, the average American's 4 planets. And that was just a horrific moment for me. I just went, what have I been doing all these years? Here I'm supposed to be, solving this problem, and I am actually the problem. And here I am aiming for this ridiculous target of being sub-1 planet. Well, it seems ridiculous, but it's actually not ridiculous at all. It's actually incredibly sensible, because we've only got 1 planet. I mean, did I miss a meeting? We've only got 1 planet. So what are we living in a 4-planet lifestyle, or my ridiculous 6-planet lifestyles? I was a big meat eater, and I thought that was fine, it all looks fine. But once I started measuring my footprint, I realized that meat was actually one of the biggest problems we have to solve. And a cow actually needs quite a lot of area to romp around and do what it needs to do. And then killing it, and then transporting it, and then cooking it, and all those other things. Once you start adding it all up, you get this really big footprint factor, which is the impact. I think the verifiable evidence indicates meat consumption globally will double in the next 35 years. And if that occurs, so much forest will have to be cut down around the world that we're going to cause a mass extinction of species within the next 100 years. And we cannot let that happen. My average food is cereal with soya, vegetarian sandwiches, 3 big ones, and in the evening, pasta or rice with veggies and tofu and beans. And that's about a quarter of a planet, my footprint, just for the food. Now, if I switch out to a more typical Western diet, I would go cereal with milk, maybe tuna fish sandwich, and have a juicy steak in the evening with a couple of veggies on the side. And that really changes everything. Suddenly it blows out to 2.5 planets. My normal vegan diet is 10 times less than that typical Western diet. And I'm trying to inspire people just to try and do one meatless day a week. Just one. What is the single silver bullet to solve this problem? And that's why I think it's so incredibly exciting, because in fact there's only one behavioural change we need to do to solve this problem, and that is just to eat less meat. Eat good meat and less of it. Not only will it be good for your health, it'll be good for the health of the planet.